Bhasin as well joins in on the show. And Sanjiv, the fog seems to have kind of lifted for IT, going by TCS and Infosys' performance. Sanjiv, you got to unmute your mic, please.
Good morning, Aisha. The fog continues in Delhi at 8 degrees. You should be here. You'll enjoy the weather. But yes, it is on the bend of clearing. You know that there is Sankranti or Makar Sankranti or Lodi on 14th. That marks the end of the sun going Uttarayan. And the sun is telling you that IT is now in a very sweet spot. Cash earnings on a 60,000 crore, 15,000 crore EBITDA, which is 25%. Where can you get a company like TCS? And a constant earner. Now, there has been attrition problem, there has been inflation, but that's settling down. I was amazed at how fast they've developed teams for the AI and so on. So I think IT is all about adaptation. And we are in a process where our companies are now, the best in the world as far as outsourcing, as far as adaptation to cloud AI. I am very, very positive. I think Infosys numbers were relatively much better than what the street was making. And I would expect from here HCL Tech and Wipro to pleasantly surprise. I think these are two stocks which are in our portfolio as a disclosure, but we recommend that you add on HCL Tech and Wipro in the large cap space.
Yeah, he's been quite bullish on both HCL as well as Wipro. Kunal, are they the stronger names within the IT pack, HCL and Wipro?
So HCL Tech definitely is a stronger one. In fact, the stock has already made a fresh 52-week highs as well as a life high, I think just some time back as compared to the other peers, which have yet to scale past. Wipro actually is a underperformer. So I think out of the two names, Wipro as well as Tech Mahindra are the two which are significantly below their 2021-22 highs for themselves. The only concern right now for many of these large cap underperforming names is the lack of momentum. And I think if post results we see momentum coming by into these names, then we could probably expect these stocks to run up exceedingly high. So yes, HCL Tech is one of the better performers out of the two names.
Okay, let's just take a look at what's really happening outside the IT sector. Well, of course, that is something that we're going to be closely tracking first up. But look at the moves on a Hero MotoCorp and Bajaj Auto yesterday. Sanjiv, clearly renewed vigor this time around from the two-wheeler pack led by Hero MotoCorp and Bajaj Auto. What's the take here?
Well, that's the charm of the rural incomes coming back. And we know that for last 2 years, they've been laggards. But come and go and look at the export market of Bajaj Auto. Hero also is now having its highest figure of export. Secondly, their adaptation to EVs is telling us that they are very, very well geared for that revolution. And, rural incomes marks the beginning of consumption pattern. Now, the stocks have, actually have been the best performing I have seen in many, many years. I still think there is more steam, but, it had more or less priced to perfection. On the other hand, where do you expect Bajaj Auto to come out with a 4,000 crore, buyback and a very conservative management at that? So I definitely think these stocks are priced to perfection in the near term. But since they are in a very good sweet spot, we would wait for earnings to be the next barometer, whether the stocks are fully priced or there is more upside or downside.
Well, the aviation pack as well is in focus, and if we can just bring up the year-to-date as well as, last 1 week charts for both Interglobe Aviation as well as SpiceJet. While Interglobe Aviation, of course, is the dominant monopoly player in the market, what's been intriguing is the way SpiceJet as well as a chart has been moving. Some phenomenal returns, not just in this week, which is already scaled up 7% for SpiceJet, but look at the last 6 months chart as well. SpiceJet has also seen a very, very good move, and I think about 35 odd percent is what it's already scaled up. Of course, in the last 6 months, it's been a more exaggerated return of 116% that it's made. But remember, the stock was really, really beaten down and almost a scavenger name. But, the kind of enthusiasm around the entire aviation pack, Sanjiv, that one is seeing. Almost airports are now looking at, domestic bus stations, if I can use that terminology. And given that there are just so few players now in the market, do you think there is merit in maybe adding a little bit of SpiceJet to your portfolio?
Well, no, we don't cover SpiceJet. There are too many riddles in the puzzle over there, and leverage. They are two players, so obviously it's gaining share. But I think Vistara is not a mark. It's not a listed stock. I continue to play Indigo, but Aisha, don't miss the infrastructure. GMR is at new highs. From 1 year, I've been saying that air traffic is going through the roof. Where did you expect now? Fifth, airstrip also coming along on a runway. Thirdly, play it through Ashok Leland. As Indigo expands, Ashok Leland is the bus which carries you from the airport to the terminal and to the plane. And that is only, they've got record orders. Ashok Leland has 53% of the bus market in India itself, third largest in the country. So we think Indigo, GMR, and Ashok Leland is the right way of playing all these three. For no specific reason, but SpiceJet for us is an avoid.
Okay, SpiceJet is an avoid, but Indigo, GMR as well as Ashok Leyland is what Mr. Bhasin is saying. But Kunal, coming to you for your top mid-cap bets that you have this morning.
Well, it's not exactly a mid-cap, but then Geo Financial Services is something which has popped up on the radar. It's at a 3-month swing breakout high. It's managed to break past about the 250 levels yesterday. So it looks very attractive in terms of the setup, the stock finally coming back into momentum. And Reliance, of course, has been one of the key factors in terms of the price movement on the upside. So I believe Geo Financial Services could also be one of the key stocks in terms of a breakout. 262 is where I would eye the near-term targets for the stock and stop us at 247.
Okay. Sanjiv, intrigued by what's happening with Polycab and the entire wires and cables space. I mean, amidst all the rumors last evening that some of the large portfolio holders have completely exited Polycab and that the IT department is not even mentioning Polycab. Polycab is saying that they've got no official confirmation. They're not the company which is being interrogated. We saw yesterday that the entire sector saw clobbering down. I mean, be it your RR Cable, KEI, Polycab, all these stocks were down. What would you do right now? Because Polycab is also a very high concentrated HNI name.
Correct, Aisha, and that is what the problem is. When these type of rumors or unsubstantiated things come, the first thing which a foreign FI will do is sell. Forget about the news. This is generally the reaction which is there. First, take money off the table. Now, these stocks, when you want to enter them, they have a high impact cost, and when you want to exit till 20% on 2 days, you are not able to exit. So that is the uncanny part of being in mid caps, because entry and exit is always a problem. I am not going to comment on the news, because that is again something which is based. No company will agree that they have done any wrong. It will be a matter of time, and we will wait for the authorities. The stocks were maybe overpriced to an extent. The underlying business remains good. We still think KI Industries, Finolex Cables are two blue chips which you must own. KI Industry is in our portfolios. We like KEC International a lot, which is a similar, towers. And so do your homework, use this opportunity. But again, I reiterate, just now more large caps give us more presence of corporate governance, no issues, visibility. So I would rather be more in State Bank and Reliance than in some of these stocks which have already run up far in excess of valuations.
Right, Mr. Bhasin, obviously today we do have the Mumbai Trans Harbour Link also, which is all set to be inaugurated today. Anything in terms of this infra play, real estate play, because that surely, in Bombay at least is, the commute as well as is improving. So obviously in terms of that play, would you look at anything there?
So obviously, anything which goes into the construction, that is cement, steel, they become a conduit. And in infrastructure, the lion's share is with Larsen and Toubro. Anything to do with highways, electrical, hydrocarbon, it's all about L&T. And you've seen Siemens, ABB, Cummins all hit new highs, which is, I've never seen in 30 years, capex stocks of this type pedigree hitting highs. I would still play, like I said, the funding comes from the state bank. And if you realize what the potential is of these assets becoming now jewels in the crown, then the viability for banks lending even becomes better. I would still play this through IRB Infra, which actually owns 24,000 kilometers pan India, and on FASTag is one of the best plays. I have had a buy as a disclosure from 16, it hit a new high of 48. I still think this stock can go to 60, but do your homework, pick up some of the capex stocks which you are looking at. pick up the largest banks, which are going to be the lenders, and I think you'll have a perfect potpourri.
Well, talking about FASTag, IDFC as well could be another play which could perhaps benefit. Of course, the stock has run up already a lot. But yeah, IRB Infra, L&T, that is the pick coming in from Sanjiv Bhasin. Of course, shortly we'll be getting our reporters as well live from the location. Remember, today the Prime Minister is going to be here in Mumbai and he's going to be inaugurating the Mumbai Trans Harbour link. And it is quite a moment, right, for all of
Absolutely.
us here in Mumbai.
Absolutely, quite a moment here in Mumbai, as well as the longest bridge in India as well. So that is important.
Longest sea bridge in
Sea
India.
bridge in India
Yes.
as well. So that is very, very exciting. Though I'm worried a bit about the traffic that we may have to face, Aisha, today. Hope not, but yes, surely improving in terms of the commute over there. That's surely interesting. Kunal, anything that you have in terms of a take coming in on the infra side, or anything you find exciting in terms of the charts on the infra front?
So yeah, I think IRB has done reasonably well. That's a stock which I think over the last many weeks has also managed to climb back about the 30 plus levels. Reasonably done well. I think many of the other names, for example, other than IRB, I think the entire pack as such has done reasonably well. From the Capcut space as such, I think L&T is something which looks attractive. But as a space, I think infra, many of the PSU themes they have done as per market as well as a slight above expectations. So I'm expecting that this trend for the larger sector would also continue.
Okay, can't help but notice the pre-open trade and look at IT. Infy is already seeing a 4.5% bump up, 3% uptick coming in for TCS. So today it seems like IT is going to be leading the charge on the Nifty. And of course Reliance, which has already made it to that 18 lakh crore rupee market cap club. So look out for what that stock as well has been doing, because the last two trading sessions you've seen a consecutive 2.5% move coming in on that stock. Sanjiv, you're pretty bullish on Reliance. Can investors look to buy Reliance even at these levels?
So I stuck my neck out before Diwali at 16 lakh crore. I said the market cap will hit 20 lakh crore. And by the grace of God, we've got there. Never underestimate a sleeping giant. He's just woken up. So if he's going to go, sum of parts was 3,000 now with Geo. I think now individually it will go to 3,000 plus Geo. So that is what is going to propel you to 2,200. IT stocks have given more favor to the bulls. And we are closing above 21,750 today for the week, for the month. That will be the highest close. Next week, a shot at 22,000 as banks participate. And I think that you have a perfect combination. So yes, I am very bullish on Reliance. As a disclosure, it is in our portfolio. And we continue to have that as one of the pillars of the mainstay for our portfolio. 3,000 is on the cards in Reliance over the next 4 to 6 months.
Okay, surely still bullish on Reliance. That's Mr. Bhasin's view. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhasin, for joining in with us this morning on ET Now. But let's move across, because